510 standard form. With standard form, we have a formula that is ax plus by is equal to c, where a and b are both on the same side, and a and b are not raised to any power. So that we don't have an x squared, we don't have a y squared. We also don't have an x or a y in a denominator. So if we look at example 1, we're writing an equation in standard form for the line, and we're given a slope of 2 and a point that's negative 2, 0. So we can use our point slope form in order to put this equation into standard form. By doing so, we form this as y minus y1, which is 2, is equal to m, which is 2 times x minus x1, which is negative 2. From here, we are going to distribute this x, so it becomes positive 2. So y minus 2 is equal to 2 times x plus 2. Distribute the 2 here. And we have y minus 2 is equal to 2x plus 4. Our whole idea is to get this in standard form, so we want to bring the 2x and the y together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract this 4 from each side. So I have y minus 6 is equal to 2x, and then I'm going to bring the y over and subtract it. So I have negative 6 is equal to 2x minus y. So this is going to be 2x minus y is equal to negative 6. For our next example, for B, we have a slope of 5 and an ordered pair of negative 2, 4, so we can do the same thing. Put it into your point slope form. Why did this do this? Let's erase this because this is not, and then rewrite it. That was weird. So it was 2x minus y is equal to negative 6. All right, so we have a slope of 5 and a point of negative 2, 4. So this is going to be y minus 4 is equal to slope, which is 5 times x minus negative 2. So the two negatives next to each other turn into positives. Then we have y minus 4 is equal to 5 times x plus 2. We're going to distribute the 5. So we have y minus 4 is equal to 5x plus 10. We are going to move that 10 over, move the y over, so way that 5x is with the y. We'll subtract y from each side. We're going to have negative 4 is equal to 5x minus y plus 10. Then we're going to move the 10 over by subtracting it. So we have 5x minus y is equal to negative 14. For C, we have a slope of negative 2 and a point that's negative 7, negative 10. So this is going to give us y minus negative 7 is equal to negative 2 times x minus, this is supposed to be negative 10, not negative. Here, let's go back. Negative 10 is equal to negative 2 times x minus negative 7. So we are going to distribute those negatives. Y plus 10 is equal to negative 2 times x plus 7. Move that negative 2 in, so distribute it. We have y plus 10 is equal to negative 2x minus 14. I want to move that negative 2 over, so that way it becomes positive. There we go. So I'm going to add it to both sides. So I have 2x plus y plus 10 is equal to negative 14. Then I'm going to move the 10 over by subtracting it. And I have 2x plus y is equal to negative 24. If we look at our next example, we have a slope of 4 and the ordered pair -3, 0. So this -3, 0, we can plug in with our slope to our point slope form. And we're going to have y minus 0 is equal to 4 times x minus -3. Those two negatives next to each other turn into positives. So y minus 10, which we just can use as y, is equal to 4 times x plus 3. So distribute the 4 in. We have y is equal to 4x plus 12. I am going to switch the y by subtracting it, and I'm going to switch the 12 by subtracting that. So I'm going to have -12 is equal to 4x, or 4x minus y. Minus y is equal to -12. For example 2, we are given 2 points. So what we first need to do is find our slope. So find your slope. We're going to have 4 minus -1 over 0 minus -2. Two negatives turn into positives. So this is 4 plus 1 over 0 plus 2. 4 plus 1 is 5 over 2 is our slope. So 5 over 2 is our slope. We're going to use one of these 2 points. Doesn't matter which one we use. I'm going to use the first. So I'm going to have y minus -1 is equal to 5 over 2 times x minus -2. Two negatives next to each other turn into positives. So y plus 1 is equal to 5 over 2 times x plus 2. We're going to distribute that 5 over 2. Y plus 1 is equal to 5 over 2x plus 5. We are going to get rid of that fraction. To get rid of that fraction, we are going to move the y over with it. And then we are also going to multiply the entire thing by the denominator. So we can actually start by multiplying the whole thing by the denominator. This is going to give us 2y plus 2 is equal to 5x plus 10. Now we don't have to worry about any fractions. We're going to move the 2y over by subtracting it. So 2 is equal to 5x minus 2y plus 10. Then we move the 10 over by subtracting it. So we're going to have 5x minus 2y is equal to -8. For b, we have the 2 points, 5, 2, and 3, -6. So our slope, we have -6 minus 2 over 3 minus 5. -6 minus 2 is -8. 3 minus 5 is -2. So the two negatives turn into positives, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. So we are going to use one of these 2 points, and we use 5, 2. We have y minus 2 is equal to 4 times x minus 5. The 4 gets distributed, so y minus 2 is equal to 4x minus 20. I'm going to move the y over. So I have -2 is equal to 4x minus y minus 20. I'm going to move the 20 over by adding it. And I get 4x minus y is equal to 18. For C, we have 4, -7, and 2, -3. So again, we're going to find our slope first. We have -3 minus -7 over 2 minus 4. Two negatives turn into positive. 3 minus 7 is 4. 4. 2 minus 4 is -2. So this is going to give us -2. Our slope is -2. choose one of the 2 points. 2, negative 3 is lower number, so I want to use that one. So I'm going to use y minus negative 3 is equal to negative 2 times x minus 2. 2 negatives turn into positive, so y plus 3 is equal to negative 2 times x minus 2. Distribute the negative 2. So y plus 3 is equal to negative 2x plus 4. I'm going to move the 2x over by adding it. So 2x plus y plus 3 is equal to 4. Then I'm going to move the 3 over by subtracting it. So 2x plus y is equal to 1. For our next example, we have a 1, 5, and a negative 10, negative 6. So we're going to find our slope. So m is equal to negative 6 minus 5 over negative 10 minus 1. Negative 6 minus 5 is negative 11. Negative 10 minus 1 is negative 11. Those two turn into positives, and our slope is 1. Use one of the 2 points. I'm going to use 1, 5. So y minus 5 is equal to 1 times x minus 1. Distribute the 1. So y minus 5 is equal to x minus 1. I am going to move the 1 over with the 5. So I have y minus 4 is equal to x. Then I'm going to move my y over by subtracting it. So I have x minus y is equal to negative 4. For our next example, it tells us that a tank is filling up with water at a rate of 3 gallons per minute. That's our slope. The tank already had 3 gallons in it before it started being filled. So we're writing an equation in slope or standard form. That 3 gallons in it before it was filled. Was there any minutes that passed before we got to that 3 gallons? No. So that's 0, 3 as an ordered pair. So we're going to use that point and that slope. So 0, 3 with a slope of 3. Put it in your point slope form. So y minus 3 is equal to 3 times x minus 0. The x minus 0 is just x. 3 times x is 3x. So y minus 3 is equal to 3x. Move the y over. We're going to have 3x minus y is equal to negative 3. For our next example, B says a hot tub filled with 440 gallons of water is being drained. After 1.5 hours, the amount of water has decreased to 320 gallons. So this gives us 2 ordered pairs. It's filled with 440 gallons, so there's no time that passes with that. So that's a point of 0, 440. Then it says after 1.5 hours, it decreased to 320 gallons. That's another ordered pair. That's 1.5, 320. So we're going to have to find our slope here. We're going to we can do 440 minus 320 or 320 minus 440 over 1.5 minus 0. The 320 minus 440 is negative 120 over 1.5. You can't have a decimal in a fraction, so you got to move that decimal point. So we have negative 1200 over 15. They are both divisible by 15. 15 goes into 1,280 times, so this is negative 80. So our slope is negative 80. Then we can use one of these 2 points, which I'm going to use 0, 440, and plug it in. So we have y minus 440 is equal to negative 80 times x minus 0. x minus 0 is x, so y minus 440 is equal to negative 80 times x. Then we're going to get the 80x over with the y to make it positive, and move the negative 440 over by adding it. Oops, 440. Add this. Add this. Put it out front. We're going to have 80x plus y is equal to 440. For C, it says a tank is being filled with gasoline at a rate of 4.5 gallons per minute. That's our slope. The gas tank contained 1.5 gallons gas before it started being filled. This is the ordered pair. 0, 1.5. So our slope is 4.5, and the ordered pair that we're working with is 0, 1.5. So plug this in. Y minus 1.5 is equal to 4.5 times x minus 0. The x minus 0 is just x, so this is y minus 1.5 is equal to 4.5x. We don't want decimals or fractions in this, so we're going to multiply the entire equation by 10. So this is going to give us 10y minus 15 is equal to 45x. That 10y is going to move over by subtracting, and we have 45x minus 10y is equal to negative 15. For our last example, D, it says a pool that is being drained contained 18,000 gallons of water. After 2 hours, 12,500 gallons of water remain. So these are the 2 points of 0, 18,000, and 2, 12,500. So find your slope. We're going to do 12,500 minus 18,000 all over 2 minus 0. The 12,500 minus 18,000 is negative 5,500. And then we're going to have 2 in our denominator. We divide those 2, and that gives us negative 2,750 for our slope. Use one of these 2 ordered pairs. I'm going to use 0, 18,000. So this is going to give us y minus 18,000 is equal to negative 2,750 times x minus 0. The x minus 0 is just x, so this is y minus 18,000 is equal to negative 2,750 times x. I want my x to be positive, so I'm going to move my x over, and same thing with the negative 18,000. So I'm going to add the 18,000 to both sides. So I'm going to have y is equal to negative 2,750x plus 18,000. Then I'm going to move the 2,750 over by adding it. This is going to leave us with 2,750x plus y